The main event, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. It was a great match. Really, it was. From start to finish, it was what it should have been wrestling wise because it showcased exactly what Roman has become. He is definitely turned into a top notch star, and Cody is right on par. As it would come out later, Cody had the highest top sales for merchandise over WrestleMania weekend, and it really is one of those, like, pains me to say that I enjoyed the match because it was only the ending I didn't enjoy, which has been the subject of much talk over the last week. So let's go ahead and talk about it. The ending of Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes saw Roman's title reign continue. Oh, I can understand why it continued. I do still see where there is value as having Roman Reigns as the champion. But at the same time, and I really think it came down to, if I was a person in that room, what's the more value? Roman, I think, can go as far as he has, and I don't know if you can really do much more with Roman than what you already have. I know that there's other stories that you can tell with Roman. Obviously, you still got the bloodline to run through. You know, eventually Jay's going to turn his back, which is going to be a huge matchup for Jay and Roman. Solo's probably going to hit that same spot here soon as well. So it's not like you don't have options. But in terms of striking when the iron is hot, and I do think this iron was scorching, you could have had another top-notch star that I think is more than capable of carrying the ball that John Cena left behind. I know they've been wanting Roman to be that guy that picked up the ball, and at times it felt like he could get there, but it was a very forced situation. Cody's has not been forced, in my opinion. And it really is disappointing that they didn't actually just take a shot with it and say, I get it. He had only been really back with the company on a full-time basis for about 3 months. He got injured shortly into his return last year. So I understand that you don't have a whole lot to go off of to have a good build for Mania and, I guess, a quote-unquote story. But in my opinion, the story was still more than good enough to warrant a title change. I thought Cody's work was stellar. I thought Roman's was as well. And again, if you would have gone with Cody, you for sure would have just made a new top star, which is something that WWE is lacking at the moment. And you could have solved that problem by having Cody as champion. And if things didn't go the way you thought they would, then you could easily put Roman back in that spot. So I don't really get why they didn't just take an opportunity and go for it. But I'm not the one that's there in the writing rooms. I'm not the one that's coming up with anything like that. So do I really have much of a say? Only on a fan's mind. But I guess we'll see if this does lead to Cody and Roman next year at WrestleMania, because now, as everybody has pointed out, this is a redemption story now. He couldn't get it done at the big stage this year, but now he has to fight and claw to get back to that spot. I get it. It's the Rocky story, essentially. Rocky lost in his main event of the first one, but came back in Rocky 2 to beat Apollo Creed. So I can see that being the story, especially being in Philly. It makes a lot of sense there. And right now, we just have to let it play out, because right now, Cody Rhodes is going to be dealing with Brock Lesnar coming up. And I think that actually does have a potential to be something good. So I'm hoping it is, for Cody's sake more than anything. Brock, I know Brock will be fine. Brock is Brock. But I hope this is indeed the beginning of the roads to redemption, because Cody does deserve, in my opinion, to be a champion sooner rather than later. I wish they would have taken the chance at Mania. We didn't get that, but in my opinion, I think it's still just a matter of when, not if, Cody Rhodes becomes WWE champion.